guys.
I'm Jess.
I'm Kristin. And we're Old School Otaku. So, sorry for the lack of uploads. We were really busy getting ready for Otakon 2016. It's the last year that Otakon is going to be held in Baltimore. For those of you who don't know, Otakon is the largest anime convention held on the East Coast. So obviously we had a lot of stuff to do. So we just wanted to give you guys a little recap of what the convention was like for those of you who maybe were not able to attend or have never attended an anime convention before and just wanted to know maybe the kind of stuff that we do while we're there.
I love anime conventions. I think they're so much fun. I think everybody should go. They're awesome. But this was our experience, and this was a lot different from our other experiences at Otakon, just because we had so much more to do this year than any other year.
Yeah, this year was a lot different for us.
Way different for us.
Alright, so we're just going to go day by day and just tell you like what we did on that day. So we're going to start with Thursday.
Yes.
So Thursday was the day we checked into the hotel. Technically, the convention does not start until Friday. Typically on Thursday, that's when people who have pre-registered go to pick up their badges. Yeah. We had the pleasure of having our badges mailed to us, so we did not have to wait in line.
Thank God, because it was so hot out.
It was really hot outside. But this year, it seems like a lot of people either got their badges mailed to them or just came later to pick up their badges because there was nobody waiting at registration past 7 o'clock, which is unheard of for Otakon.
Unheard of.
So I feel like the mailed badges really has taken down on the amount of wait time people have had to do in the past. I know.
Yeah. So mailing, thank you. God.
So when we got down there, we actually had a photo shoot to do at about 8 o'clock at night with our friend Stella.
Yep.
We were doing a Sailor Moon photo shoot. I cosplayed as Eternal Sailor Moon. She did Princess Serenity.
And I was Sailor Cosmos.
It's like with like a amateur photographer who like we just went around and did like certain different poses with her.
Like different group shots, single shots. It was really cool. Yeah. Talk about our neighbors. We had some great neighbors at Otakon.
We did.
We're in the room 5 minutes after realizing there was no fridge and no microwave. And I'm like, oh, let's check the view. We can actually see the Oriole Stadium from our view. And I was like, oh, this is so pretty. And I look around and we see across the way our neighbors who have their windows wide open. And a man just starts taking his pants off in front of the window. And I immediately scream and I tell Kristin, oh my God, you gotta see this dude. And he's in his boxers and he's just standing there in the window like...
They were silky boxers.
They were silky gray boxers.
So let's get into the actual convention. So Friday's when the convention begins. So I decided to cosplay as Reika from Gantz.
And I was casual Botan in an outfit she wears in Genkai's tournament from Yu Yu Hakusho.
And your boyfriend.
Oh, and my boyfriend was cosplaying as Beat Up Dark Tournament Yusuke, also from Yu Yu Hakusho.
So after we got ready to head to the convention, the first thing we need to do was check in for our panel. So we are running a panel this year. Our panel was on Saturday. The requirements for Otakon is that we check in with the panelist place at least 2 hours before our panel. Obviously, since we're there, we're just going to go get it done with. We didn't have anything planned, so it was fine. So we decided to go in and go get our panelist ribbons and get set up all of our paperwork. So we check in for our panel, and the first thing that happens is that one of the staff members at Otakon really liked my Gantz cosplay because if anybody who's cosplay Gantz knows, there are not a lot of us around. So she had never seen a Gantz cosplay before, and so she gave me an Otakon Loves This Cosplay ribbon, which I thought was super cool.
Way cool. Because we'd only been at the con for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I had just come in. Like, it was super cool. And then I also got a panelist ribbon as well that I put on my badge. And you and Jake also got one of those as well.
Yeah. So we looked pretty ballin'.
And then I said, and I literally said to you, I said, cool, one thing off the Otakon bucket list. Now the next thing is to meet another Gantz cosplayer. And you and I at the same time go, yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
And we were getting ready to leave, and this guy stops me, and he's like, no, please don't go. My friend is cosplaying Gantz, and he's coming.
Girl.
And I almost had a mini heart attack. I was so freaking excited.
She was like squealing. She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was like, okay, relax. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Yeah, so that was super, super exciting. And so he came along, and he was super, super nice, and so was his friends. We talked for like about an hour, hour and a half, just really about Gantz, honestly. So I thought that was super cool.
And Jake really wanted to go to this Pokemon panel, and it was talking about like the unsettling questions about Pokemon or something. And we're like, oh, let's get there early, just so we can get some good seats. So we get there early, and the panel before was talking about the first anime, which was a panel just about animes from like the 1930s, which actually turned out to be really cool. Like that panel was really interesting. It showed like a bunch of really old animes from like the 30s, 40s, and 50s, all the stuff before Astro Boy. That was really interesting. And so then we sat through the Pokemon panel, and it wasn't that interesting. Like honestly, the first panel we sat through was way more interesting. Like the Pokemon one, we thought it would be like more in depth about like the stories behind Pokemon or like the dark side of Pokemon, stuff like that. Because the title was Unsettling Questions, but they just kept talking about how Ghastly was a fart, and they were making fart jokes, and people in the audience were shouting out like ridiculous answers, and I was just like, oh, okay, this isn't like what we thought it was, so we left early.
I don't like Pokemon, so that doesn't interest me anyway.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend like Pokemon, so we sat through that, and then we left like halfway through, and we're like, nah. No, and then we met up with you at the dealer's room. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went to the dealer's room, and I spent way too much money this weekend. I got way too much stuff.
You did. You bought a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I bought a lot.
Usually you don't either, which is funny. Usually I'm the one who buys a lot of stuff and you don't. I only bought 2 books and a keychain. This one over here buys like all these figures, books, art prints, you name it. She buys a lot of stuff. But I always feel like whenever we go to Otakon, the dealer's room, almost every booth has very similar items.
Very similar items.
Whereas in the past, when we first started going to Otakon, this was before like the internet was a thing, every booth generally had something different. You could only find it would only be at that one booth, and that was when I thought it was a big deal that you get to the dealer's room really early because those one-of-a-kind items, there was only one of them in there. Now I feel like places have so much of the same stuff that if it's not at one booth, you're going to find it at another booth. Yeah, so we went to the Artist Alley after that. I'm not really big into Artist Alley stuff. I really just like official stuff.
I like the Artist Alley. I like the artwork and a lot of stuff they have there. But my boyfriend did get these really cool bath bombs, like the Pokemon. They were like these Pokeballs and Dragon Balls that were really cool. We used them up already. Yeah, the Pokemon one came with a little keychain of Vaporeon. It was really cool. It smelled so good, too. Oh my god, it was awesome. That's the cool stuff I like about Artist Alley. Like, the actual stuff you can get. Like, the bath bombs are way cool. Like, the homemade ones.
Yeah. And then after the Artist Alley, we walked around for a little bit.
Yeah, got some food.
Yeah, and then we just decided just to go back to the hotel room. We watched Step Brothers, and we went to sleep.
Step Brothers was on that whole weekend, by the way.
It was
awesome.
It was great.
It was awesome.
All right, then Saturday. Saturday was the big day.
Had our big Sailor Moon photo shoot in the morning. So Saturday was a really crazy day for us. So we started getting ready for our Sailor Moon cosplays again. We went down to the photo shoot, which is on the 3rd floor terrace, which is actually really pretty. It's like got a bunch of fountains, trees, whatever. It looks nice. But unfortunately, it was, oh my god, what was it, like over 100 degrees out? It was bad. It was really bad. I walked out there.
Yeah. Thought it was pretty cool that Jess fell in front of everybody when she was...
Okay, let me explain this. Alright, so we get there, and a girl cosplaying as Sailor Starfighter was getting her picture taken, and it's like her and then a huge crowd of photographers and people just taking her photo, and then all the cosplayers are standing off to the side. And they're like, oh my god, there's a Sailor Cosmos here, because I was Sailor Cosmos. And they're like, oh, Sailor Cosmos, come up here and get your picture taken with Sailor Starfighter. I was like, oh, that'd be so perfect. So I'm in these huge heels, like this big. These heels are huge, and we're walking on like tile, like concrete tiles.
There's these huge cracks in all the tiles.
Huge cracks. And I can't walk in heels for jack shit. And I'm walking, and I'm like, oh, I should run so I don't waste anybody's time. And I'm running up there. I fall flat on my face. My staff goes down. I go down. I'm on the floor. And I just hear everybody going, ooh. I was like, oh my god, kill me now. Luckily, Sailor Starfighter helped me up. She's a soul. She's a saint.
It's like your life goal. There's your
my life goal. Starfighter's like my waifu. And I immediately jumped up and I tried to, I cracked a joke about how I can't walk in heels. Everybody was laughing, and then I recovered. Some other Sailor Moon cosplayer fixed my outfit because it was like askew from the fall. And every time after that I had to walk up to get my picture taken, I walked extra slow for the cracks, and you held my hand a couple times.
Well, we were going to try to stay in the Sailor Moon cosplays for until maybe 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
that was our goal time, because our panel was at 7 and we wanted to change. We wanted to prep for the panel. We wanted to make sure we had plenty of time and also make sure we had time to go get something to eat. So that was our goal time was 4 o'clock. We did not make it to 4 o'clock.
We made it till 11. Not even 11:30, I don't think.
No, it wasn't even 11:30. The Sailor Moon cosplay is so uncomfortable. It's not even like the outfit itself. It's everything else that comes with it. For me, I have these huge wings. I bump into people all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry. I get tired of saying it. The boots are so uncomfortable.
Oh my god, yeah. Because you've got the heeled boots too, with the really thin heel.
And then we saw that there was a Yu Hakusho photo shoot at noon, and we were like, oh, you know what? We should
go.
We should really go so we can talk about our panel, so we can get some people to come, and also just, you know, because it's Yu Hakusho.
We gotta represent.
Exactly. So we're doing a panel. We have to show up to a photo shoot.
We have to.
So I took off my boots. She took off her heels, and we ran. This is the quickest we've ever gotten ready for a cosplay. So the photo shoot was at noon, and we actually ended up not getting back to the hotel room until about 11:25 because we got stopped a few times to get our photo taken.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh my god, we gotta go. You know, at least we want to take our picture. And
it was rough.
You know, we finally get back to the hotel room, we get ready, and then we head down to the Yu Hakusho photo shoot. That was a lot of fun. And we met some, like, really cool cosplayers. I think our favorite one was the Yusuke.
The Yusuke.
Yeah, so there was this Yusuke, and he was in, like, the green jacket that he wears.
Yeah,
and,
from the beginning of the series.
Yeah, and he says the line, "Not gonna ruin my day," which is our favorite dub line.
And the kid actually said it.
And I asked him to say it. I was like, can you say "not gonna ruin my day"? And he was so cool about it.
And he even had the glasses, and we took the most awesome picture with him.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was so great. So he was he was a good sport about it. He had a lot of fun.
He was awesome.
After that, we got something to eat, and then we went back and prepped for our panel.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, well, let's go wait and let's go to our panel. So we only have to be there about 15 minutes ahead of time for our panel. But it was 6 o'clock, and so she gets a text from our friend Stella. I get a text from my friend Romeo saying that there's a huge line for our panel, and we're like, what? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, we were also like, what comes on after our panel? We didn't think it was for us. We thought people were waiting to get into the panel after hours.
Yeah.
So that's why people were already outside waiting. But no, people were in the panel for us.
It was crazy. Like, we get there, and there's a line
wrapped
down the hallway, wrapped around the corner. We go up to the staff, and we're like, hey, we're the next panelist. And he's like, oh, awesome. This whole line is for you guys. And we were just like, what? We've never hosted a panel before.
Exactly.
Like, this is shocking for us. And then we just kind of went in there. The girl before us, she ended her panel like
30 minutes early.
Yeah, 30 minutes early.
Because her panel wasn't supposed to end until like 6:30.
6:45.
No, 6:30.
6:30? Okay.
Her panel was supposed to end at 6:30, and it ended like at 6:10.
It was crazy.
So we had all this extra time, basically, and we had a completely full room, completely packed. Yeah, packed. Yeah, packed. Not a seat in the house was empty. No. They were like letting people in like one by one, like trying to find different seats for them. Like we did not believe. Like I
couldn't believe it.
It was so surreal.
So surreal. Oh my gosh.
Could not believe that was for us. The panel was actually really successful.
It was a huge success.
Yeah, because the room stayed full the whole time. Just because a lot of people come to your panel doesn't mean they're all going to stay.
Exactly.
But our room was full the whole time.
The whole time.
A few people left, but people were actually waiting out in the line to come into our panel.
They're still waiting.
It was only, I think I counted maybe like 6 or 7 people dipped out.
Yeah.
But those seats were filled immediately, which I thought was so awesome.
People were still waiting even when we were ending the panel. And people stayed even after we said, all right guys, panel's over, we're going to do some trivia and then Q&A. The room was still packed for trivia and Q&A. It was crazy. We had to actually cut the Q&A line because it was so long.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then those people,
which is really flattering that a lot of people were asking us questions because they really valued, I guess, our opinion on different things on Yu Hakusho, which was really awesome for us.
Way cool. Way cool.
Yeah, so we did meet a lot of cool people, and then, of course, when we had to end it, we told people, oh, look, we'll be out in the hallway if you want to talk to us. We were out there for almost an hour. Talking to people. It was crazy. Like,
which was so cool. It was so cool. People were telling us, like,
people were telling us that our panel was really great. It was one of the best panels they had seen all weekend.
Mm-hmm. Some people were like, oh, this is the only panel I was super excited for, and it was the best panel I've seen this con. And we were just like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, because we've never done a panel before. It's crazy.
But I think the fact that we go to a lot of panels and we're disappointed by a lot of panels really helps the fact that, we were able to make this panel experience really great.
We know what we want to see in a panel, and that kind of helped a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so then after that amazing, awesome experience, we went to go get some ice cream to celebrate. And then I think we chilled at the hotel room a little bit some more, and then we went to go see one of another panel that's called "You're Wrong and You Should Feel Bad."
Yeah. So 2 years ago, we checked out this panel for the first time. It was really funny. Like
so funny.
We even said, because it's at 1 a.m. usually, and we had. And we said it was totally worth staying up that late for. Like, it was really great. They make fun of, like, animes that are really popular. So they do a classic and they do a new one. So 2 years ago, they did Evangelion as their classic and Attack on Titan as their new one.
Yeah.
And it was, we were laughing the whole time.
Oh, it was so funny.
All the points they were making were hilarious.
Yeah.
It was really, really great.
Yeah.
So, of course, then the next year, so last year, we saw that they were on the roster again. And we were like, oh, we definitely got to go because it was so great last year. We go, we're really disappointed because they did Kill la Kill and Legend of Korra. So Kill la Kill was fine because it was really popular that year.
That was the new anime they did, which is fine.
Right, but Legend of Korra, it's not an anime. It's an anime style show. So we were really disappointed in that. Yeah. And all they did the whole time was talk about hentai and just show pictures of like
shipping and their favorite couples, and I was like, I don't care about this. And
it wasn't really that funny.
Yeah.
And then this year, so we decided to give them one more chance. So we decided to go back this year.
Yeah.
And the first thing they actually said was they got a lot of bad feedback from last year's panel.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, good. They're not going to talk about hentai the whole time, and they're going to do shows that are relevant.
Right.
So the first show that they decided to do was Attack on Titan as their classic.
Again?
They did it again, and not only did they do it again, they used the exact same script verbatim.
Yeah.
Because we remember all the jokes that they had made. Like, I remember, leaning over to you going, like, they made that joke already. Like, they made that joke. Every joke was the same. They used the same pictures, the same clips. Everything they said was the same. So they didn't put any effort into putting it into Attack on Titan. And then after that, they decided to do, for their new anime, they did Steven Universe. Which, again, is not an anime.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying, and we're just like, ugh. I mean, we don't watch Steven Universe. I just know it's a popular kids show.
Right. We know Steven Universe is popular.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people at Otakon liked it because we see a lot of Steven Universe cosplays. But when the panel specifically says they're talking about anime, Steven Universe needs not to be that because then it means because if they can talk about Steven Universe, that means they can talk about anything that they want. And now if they said popular series, then everything is on the table. But when you say anime, you cannot include Legend of Korra. You cannot include Steven Universe. They are not anime.
Right.
And so we just didn't want to sit through that. We're not interested in Steven Universe.
No, we don't watch it. We wouldn't get any of it.
So we decided to leave. So as we're leaving, everyone's heckling us for leaving, saying we can't handle it. And we were just like, look, we're not interested in Steven Universe.
We don't watch Steven Universe. Like, we don't get those jokes.
We don't care. So that's why we wanted to leave, not because we couldn't handle it.
I don't know. So that was a little disappointing. And then we just kind of went to bed after that. And so Sunday, we were cosplaying as Surf's Up Shinji-kun Kawabunga, which, for those of you who don't know, is an Evangelion meme with Shinji and Kwaru just wearing leis and sunglasses with the...
It's just a phrase underneath of them that says Surf's Up Shinji-kun, the other one says Kawabunga.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but we think it's funny.
It's funny as shit. So, Sunday kind of sucked just because we had to check out of the hotel, pack all our stuff, put it in the car. Luckily, we did some of that the night before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the elevators were, as every convention we always go to, we're always, because everyone's checking at the same time, everyone's got a million things of luggage, and, unfortunately, it's not any hotel room's fault, but... every time an elevator would come, it'd already be full. So we just decided we were going to take the steps.
So with our cosplays, Jake thought no one would understand our cosplays. No one would get it. We had a ton of people coming up to us, asking us for a photo. And a bunch of people saying, like, oh, Surf's Up Shinji-kun. And since I was Shinji, I'd be like, Kawabunga. It was awesome.
Yeah. So then we decided to go back to the dealer's room and the Artist Alley one last time just to see if there was anything else to pick up.
I did not buy anything, thank God.
And after that, we just decided to go to... There was another panel that we thought interested us. It was called Funimation Favorites. Now, this panel was described as basically like shout-outs to different Funimation shows, and it said new and old. So we went because we wanted to hear them give a Yu Yu Hakusho shout-out because we just assumed that Yu Yu Hakusho should be on the old favorites list.
Right. And we're really thirsty for more.
So we go, and now it was a good panel overall. It gave us some good ideas for some shows, which we are going to talk about some of the ones that looked interesting to us.
Definitely.
And what we thought about them. But it was not how it described.
Yeah.
It's the oldest anime they showed was Dead Man Wonderland, which for them was 2012.
That's not really.
And that was it. Everything else they had were new releases, basically.
Yeah.
So it was not how it said. And then they wanted us to tweet to them our favorite Funimation title and using the hashtag FunimationFave.
Yeah.
They didn't even talk about the tweets or anything
No.
like that.
And so basically, the Funimation Fave panel, he just showed a couple of the new shows that Funimation has out. It wasn't really a Funimation Fave, but here's some cool shows that Funimation has right now.
Right.
But
Yeah, so overall, the con was pretty fun for us. You know,
Yeah.
the panel especially was probably like the highlight of the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Getting to do that.
that was awesome.
Usually at Otakon, it's like a catch-22. So you have two things you can do. One, you can just walk around, people watch, talk to people, get your picture taken if you're cosplaying, or take pictures of people cosplaying. Or you can wait in line all day to go to different panels because almost every panel,
Yeah.
you know, will have, not all of them, but a
Yeah.
lot of them, especially if they're like popular, the cool ones, you know, which is the
Yeah.
ones we would probably want to go to, always have a line.
Always. Yeah.
So it's, what do? Do you wait in line all day or do you walk around all day?
But overall, I'd say this was a great Otakon, one of my favorites, just because the ticket was free. No, but we had our own panel, which is awesome. Our cosplays, I thought, were awesome.
Yeah.
The panel is definitely the biggest highlight for me. Definitely. And the Shinji and Kaoru Koro thing, we've been trying to been doing that for months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
so
finding
that was
another
really fun.
Gans cosplayer in
Oh.
the flesh, finally.
Finally, yeah. So overall, I'd say this is one of my favorite Otakons.
Yeah, definitely. And it's sad that it's the last year in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Next year they're going to be in D.C. So we'll be going next year and we'll see
course.
how that pans out.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we're also going to KatsuCon this year, and we're going to see if we can do another panel at KatsuCon. Here's hoping. I hope so. I'd love to do another panel.
Yeah,
That'd be way cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Ton of fun.
Alright guys, well if you guys went to Otakon, let us know. Did you come to our Yu Yu
Yeah.
Hakusho panel? We would love to know. We did leave some slips of paper around at Otakon, so if you subscribe to us via Otakon, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And if you took pictures of us, or if you have any, like, cool stories, like if you saw us or from our panel, totally let us know.
Alright guys, so give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
And we put out new videos, or trying to put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
I gotta turn these off at the same time. Fuck.
Sorry, Ken. I didn't mean to wake you up.
Look at the baby sleeping.